Hey everyone, welcome back to Entering into Space. And for this video, I'm going to do another processing tutorial. I love processing tutorials. Why? Because I can just set up in the office and do them. I don't have to drag any of that stuff out and go outside and deal with the neighbors and the four-wheelers and the dirt bikes and the screaming and the kids and the dogs and all the other noise and the jets flying over and forget to turn my microphone off. I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. I can just sit here and do this because processing is an extremely important part of the astrophotography initiative. Yeah. Anyway, so I've really changed the way that I'm doing the Hubble palette here in Pixinsight. I've discovered some easier ways to do advanced techniques. So let's get into it. Alright, so here we are. I've actually got some data. It's not on loan because I'm not giving it back. But I got some data here from a buddy of mine named Mark Carter out in Kansas City. He shot some Heart Nebula data here, the core of it, Merlot 15, you can see. Subs were 6 minutes. He's just over 16 hours. All the filters that he used were the Antalya. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But they're really awesome filters. If you haven't checked them out, really good price point, especially the hydrogen alpha, 3 nanometer, great stuff. So all these were shot with those. Make a keyboard adjustment here. All his sub or these master files here. This is his sulfur, and we've got oxygen. Wait, let me screen stretch oxygen here. So really good signal. And then obviously the HA is going to be popping. So let's go through a new process to get to the Hubble palette. And I don't have an example to show you because we're starting from scratch here. So obviously we've got some rotation, some offset artifacting, I don't know, that we want to crop out. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come in here to process, geometry, dynamic crop. Doing this individually, let's choose this hydrogen alpha data set here. Let's click the reset tool so we are connected. Just going to bring this in. Probably going to shrink this image up, which is going to help some of the processing times. We won't do the whole entire thing here. Look at that, pop it out right there. That's a good frame. I like that. So let's drag this instance off with dynamic crop. Let's put it down here in our little cubby hole. We're gonna close the tool. Yes. And we're just gonna drag and drop. You know the routine. You've seen it before. Let's push this over here. And we're gonna drag and drop one more time. So HA, sulfur, and oxygen. So we got them all. They're all cropped really well. I'm going to do one different thing. Because he has gotten really good signal with all 3 filters, we are going to create what I'd like to call a super luminance. So we're going to come in here, we're going to come to process, image integration, and image integration. All right. So we're going to click add files. We are going to come to the easy processing. We're going to grab all 3 of those files here. Place them in. We're going to leave everything at default, basically how it comes in. Combination, average, normalization, additive with scaling. We're not going to worry about any pixel rejection because he's already done that. He's already stacked everything. And we are just going to hit apply global. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a super luminance. So if he's at 7 or 8 hours per filter, why only choose the hydrogen as a luminance? Let's choose it all. Let's have every or all 3 of these filters contributing to the luminance layer that we're going to put on top. You didn't see in the process explorer, but what it did is it basically took an average, and each individual filter contributed a percentage of an amount obviously probably HA and sulfur contributing a higher amount than oxygen to come to this, what I could call a superluminance. So let's drag and drop our dynamic crop. And we could rename that Loom so we know what it is. Let's minimize that. We're going to push it up on top. We're going to save that one for a little later here. We got our HAS2O3. So here's a divergent from one thing I used to do. Next step would be a background extraction, cleaning up the background, getting rid of some of this haze in the darker areas. And I used to use dynamic background extraction, but I found that with images that are mostly nebula like this, we're going to come here to process, and we're going to choose automatic background extraction. Yeah, that's right, we are. I've got a function degree in the interpolation output. Let's reset the tool just so I can show you. Everything's pretty much default. It's going to come in looking something like that. So the interpolation and output, let's drop down that list. It comes default to 4. Let's bump that down to a 1. Okay, that's one of the changes, one of the only changes I make to any of the default settings. And I want to make sure you understand, not only are we going to produce a great image, we're going to produce a great image with a lot of tools, with a lot of default settings today. We're not going to go in here and have to do deep dives into these tools and tweaking them. A lot of default settings. I know you're going to like that. So the target image correction, let's do that drop down list here. And we're going to select division. Okay. Let's just drag and drop the instance over onto the HA. See, we got much better. Much, much better. Nod your head if you agree. All right, I can see you out there. Let's rename that HA so we get those little banners a little smaller. So this is our HA. Push that up here. So we're just going to close down the background model that it produced, and we're going to close down the old image. We're going to open up S2. Same thing. Drag the instance over. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Ooh, I like that. All right. So let's open it back up, double click on the banner, and we're going to call this S2. We're going to call it S2 because that's what it is. Close down the old image. Last one is oxygen. You can see some of the darker areas of oxygen here. You watch it, it'll really provide better contrast. That's what we're looking for. All right. So a screen transfer function of that, much better looking image. I like it. Click O3. One more I there. OI. That's what it is. All right. So we're going to close the background and we're going to close the old image. And we can just close the automatic background extractor. Oh, let's open up our superloom. Let's do that. Let's open it back up. What am I thinking? Background still set. Everything's still set. So let's background extract that superluminance. We're going to hit the little nuclear button here in the screen transfer to see. I like it. And if this is your first time in Pixinsight and you're trying to learn how to use it, all this screen transfer function does is just give you a preview of the stretch. If I hit F12, it goes back to what it is right now, which is in a linear state. So we're just doing a preview. So that's all it is. Let's push that over here. Close the old image. All right, now we can close it down. All right, so now we're going to use an easy tool. First easy tool we're going to use, we're going to come up here to script. And if you do not have these installed, these easy process suites, and you get 6 of them here to choose from, watch the videos. I think Sean Nielsen, Visible Dark Arts, got a great video on how to install this. But definitely watch this video on getting this in if you don't have this as an update or into Pixinsight. You definitely need it. And you're also going to need the StarNet tool here. So you definitely got to have those 2 tools to follow along with what I'm doing here, to do it the easy way. Like Easy E, man. And Dr. Dre. Negotiators with attitude. That's what they were called. Okay, so first tool is the Easy Soft Stretch. Let's open it up. And it's always going to give you a warning. It's under heavy development. You could lose everything. Oh my God. Make sure you save it. So what we're going to do is where it says no view selected, we're going to hit this drop down list here and we're going to choose our HA. So what it's doing here is it's giving you a stretch preview. And once again, everything's pretty much default. If you want a little, you know, you want to adjust some of these sliders, you see how that kind of darkens it up. Let's just reset the stretch. I mean, that's default. That's your default stretch right there. I like it. So we just click this little button here that says Run Easy Soft Stretch. So there, look at that. Bam. So now our HA is stretched. It is non-linear. Let's open up our S2. Let's see what kind of contrast stretch we get out of this one. So come back up here to Script. Easy Processing Suite. Easy Soft Stretch. Everything's easy E, man. So let's see. Let's click our sulfur. Look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. Let's run. Look at that. It really does a great job of providing contrast, but yet boosting the brighter signal areas. So oxygen, we're going to do the same thing. Script. Easy Processing Suite. Easy Soft Stretch. And we're going to drop down list here. Choose our oxygen. That's our stretch preview. We are going to accept it by hitting Run Easy Soft Stretch. And we're done. Now we're not going to get funky. You can see down here I've got a 4x. I've got a lot of pixel math combinations. I'm not going to do that today because we're doing the things the easy way. Anyway, we're going to open up a tool here called Channel Combination. And if you don't know where all these tools are, these are the tools I use the most often. And if you want to find anything, you can come up here to Process, All Processes, and everything's right here alphabetized. Okay. So let's reset the tool. Let's do the Hubble palette. So HA in the green, drag and drop S2 in the red, and drag and drop O3 into the blue. Like it? I like it. And we're going to hit Apply Global. Just like that. Bam, we got an image. And in typical Hubble palette fashion here, we got a lot of magenta stars. So let's go here to Image, come down here to Invert. And now, see all this green in here? We're going to take care of that. We're going to open up SCNR, which is in our noise reduction subcategory. We're going to push the amount of green. This is color to remove green. The amount is 100%. We're going to drag and drop it over here. And everything that was green is now pushed back. Minimize the tool. Come back over here to Image. Invert it back. Voila! Just like that. Magic. Awesome image. Okay. We are stretched. And we've got a great start here. But we've got decent star color, and we don't want to oversaturate that star color, because we're going to start doing some masking and color manipulation to the nebula. And so what we're going to do is open up our StarNet tool. We're going to make sure Create Star Mask is checked. Drag it over, drop it, and we're going to pull out the stars. Okay. I was busy on the phone. Anyway, so let's minimize that. This is our star mask. All our stars have been extracted and saved here in the star mask. And I'm telling you, man, I don't know what Mark does different, but StarNet works way better on his data, pulling out those star spikes on his Newtonian. Oh yeah, this was shot with I think a 10-inch Orion Newtonian. Man, don't get mad at me, Mark, man. I pay attention, I swear. 10-inch Newtonian. Anyway, great looking image here. But we want to do some color work on this thing for sure. Because we want to get some of this teal and aqua out of here. We want to transition that more into blue, and some of this green, we want that to be red. Now, you know, in some of my other previous videos, I would do a lot of star mask, or not star mask, but color mask. And I still might with this image, but one thing I want to start off doing, which is, I didn't like it at first, but I found in moderation it works pretty good, That's to bring the SCNR tool back up here. And we're going to drop the percentage down to maybe 60% of green that we're going to remove from the image. Let's drag and drop it over here. And to me, that gets you really close to where you want to be. Now it's a matter of just adding some saturation to the image. So what we'll do is we're going to first mask we're going to create is just a luminance mask with this little icon up here. I like it here, but let's introduce a little contrast to this mask. So we've got our histogram transformation tool open up here. We've done a real-time preview. We're going to click this check mark so we can see our histogram peak here. Just going to bring this black point in right about there. We can boost the brightness just a little bit. Something like that. And let's drag that mask over and apply it to the image, and we'll minimize our mask. We can right click on the image here, come down here to mask and say show mask. So let's manipulate some of these colors with the curves transformation tool. Let's open it up. Click the little circle button here for a real-time preview. And the first adjustment I want to make is a good S-curve with the Lrgb. So about 2/3 of the way up I want to lift. And then I want to pull down. Like that. Then I'm just going to click that saturation tool and find out where our saturation points are. Right, dead center actually. So let's just boost. Just like that. Now, this is personal preference, but I'm a firm believer that a little bit of green is needed, you know, like in these areas right in here as a good transition in color. A lot of people can't stand it. They want all the green out. Hey man, rock on, that's your thing. But I like to have just a little bit of green. That's why when I did that SCNR, I didn't pull all the green out. I pulled 60% of the green out. So let's just do that one more time. Let's create another S-curve in here. Something like that. Bring it down. Let's just boost it. Bam. For the purposes of this video, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on color, but right now you saw a really quick way to get your blues and golds in here. You can come back in here to the curve transformation tool. You can open up another real-time preview, take that C component, click it one more time, and that's really going to emphasize the yellow here. If you think that's just a little too yellow, you can boost the red just a little bit if you want. Something like that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna call that done. You see how fast that was? I mean, really what you're doing is you're pushing that green back and you're really just enhancing the colors naturally there. You're not really manipulating color, which is kind of what I like about this new process. So let's right click on the image. Let's remove the mask. We're gonna call this color done. And we're going to put the stars back in. So we're going to open up Pixel Math here. Okay. And I was messing around with some other stuff. So start kind of from scratch here. We'll reset the tool. And the use a single RGBK expression is checked. We leave that checked. We're going to come in here to the expression editor. We're going to come in here. Our image is image 20. So let's double click on that. We're going to say image 20. Plus, open parentheses, star mask, double click on star mask, because that's the star mask we pulled out, remember? And we're going to say times 0.9, close parentheses. And what I'm doing effectively is I'm beginning the initial stages of star reduction. I'm going to de-emphasize the stars ever so slightly, right? So that's our formula. It's a real simple one. We're basically taking the image and we're adding a percentage of the star mask back in. So let's click OK to that. The destination drop-down list, the only thing we want to make sure is it has replace target image checked, which it does. And then it's just a matter of dragging the instance over and putting the stars back in. Stars back in. Hello, stars. I mean, you guys digging this? You better be digging this. If you ain't, go away. No, you'll dig it eventually. Just stay. Sit down. So anyway, we got a great looking image in here. We've got a little bit of chrominance noise. If you zoom in, that's what I call chrominance noise. So let's correct some of that chrominance noise really quick. Because this is just color data, we can just correct it with the convolution tool. Convolution, it means to blur. So we're going to open that tool up. Let's reset the tool. This tool does have a real-time preview. We're going to open that on it. And we're just going to push this lower standard deviation slider so the image get blurry. Right about there. That's about all we need to do. Accept it by clicking the little square button there. Get rid of the real-time preview. So let's zoom back in here and you see it's blurry, but it's smooth. We like that. We like smooth. Okay, so let's minimize this image, image 20. Let's push it down here. All right, so let's use another easy tool. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our luminance image that we created here. We're going to, this little square icon up here that has absolutely nothing in the center of it, we're going to click it, and it is to create little preview boxes. So let's put one right here, preview 1, and let's go right here, preview 2. So we're going to create 2 preview boxes. This is a non-linear image, or excuse me, it's linear, right? It hasn't been stretched. F12, I did that with F12, by the way. Click, click, click. Let's minimize it. We're going to come back up here to script. We're going to come to our easy processing suite, and we're going to come to easy decon. So deconvolution is one of those, like, you know, it's like a running joke in Pixinsight. It's like scary as hell, and who knows how to use it. Well, I know how to use it, but I've never really liked it until now. Using the easy decon. So with it open, it looks pretty daunting, but we're going to walk through the basic functionality of this tool. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the drop-down list. We're going to click on this Lrgb. That was our master luminance image, right? Push this over. And I don't want to I could bring this and fill it up, but I like to see my process explorer, the percentage right here. So I kind of try to split the screen just like that. So the first step with masking selected, we want to create a new process star mask. So this takes just a bit, so hang tight. Okay, so the star mask has been created and it looks like garbage, but don't worry, it's fine. It's working well. We can click back into our standard luminance image here. We're going to bypass all this stuff. We're going to leave it all. We're not going to convolute that or boost it or do any dilation to it. We're not going to do anything here. We're going to come back down to this background protection with it checked. This is all default. The blending strength is set to 50%, and we're going to create a background mask. And you can see up here in this upper tab, there's our image, there's our star mask. Now here's our background mask. So this is a little counterintuitive because typically this would be reversed. We're protecting we're wanting to protect the background from the deconvolution, but the background's not red. I don't know, man. Dark Archon can explain that to you. He's the developer of this, but guess what? It works, so rock on. So we've got a star mask made. We've got a background mask made. We want to come back over here, next thing, to deconvolution. And we're going to generate a PSF. So what this tool is going to do is going to take an average of, it'll tell you down here, 1,333 stars. Take an average and it's going to build a star shape out of those. And one little bit of advice, you see how quickly it created it? But in this tab over here, if you see like a pink fuchsia block pop up, it'll say, cannot create a PSF, adjust the sensitivity. And what it's talking about is this setting right here. You want to push this down, not up, down. Once again, Pixinsight counterintuitive. I know that like the Pixinsight gang is going to find where I live one day and they're going to be like, stop talking bad about us. Don't, but come on people, seriously, why would I go down if I want to adjust the sensitivity or be more sensitive? Anyway, you want to push that down and keep lowering that sensitivity level until it actually produces this and doesn't have any pink boxes. Okay, so cool. Here's our original image. It has not been deconvoluted or sharpened or whatever that terminology is. It has not been adjusted. This is our star mask, our background mask, and our PSF, our point spread function. So now those three things are made. Let's go back up in here where that drop down list to choose our images is. And we're going to do the drop down list, and let's choose preview 1. And one thing I forgot to point out is in these images, Mark did not drizzle these because his sampling rate and his pixel size and all that stuff is spot on. So he didn't have to drizzle it. So things go much faster. File sizes are smaller. Anyway, so what we're going to do right here, this evaluate easy decon run, I like to start it at about 30. Push the pixel math iterations to about 6. Decon iterations, we're going to leave them at 34. Let's just run it. And what we're looking for is any heavy ringing around these stars. If we've got some big time ringing, we're going to back down the iterations. So it's done because it's super fast. So let's zoom in right here. And you can see here's the decon run 1. There's the old image. So original, sharpened, original, sharpened. So let's bump the iterations up to 50 and the pixel math iterations up to like 9. Let's run it again. It's gonna coming for a landing. It's gonna it's gonna just keep creating tabs here that you can compare until you like it. All right. So now let's look. Let's zoom it in here. Ooh, look at all that sharpness that it brings in. So unsharp, sharp, unsharp, sharp. I don't see any major issues here. Let's check out and see how it's working on preview 2. Hasn't done anything yet. So let's run it. Let's do an evaluation on preview 2. And then let me tell you something, man. This little dark nebula section of the heart nebula here, look how sharp that gets. I mean, boom, boom, boom. All right. Awesome stuff. I like it. I'm not going to mess with it any more than that. So I'm going to say run easy decon. Okay. And it's finishing up. So it's done. So you see up here it has new. It means that's the new image. Let's minimize it. We're going to minimize our star mask. We're going to minimize our little PSF. There's our decon background mask. Or that was the original image. Here's the let's just push all this. You're getting a lot of crap over here. I ended up deleting it all. Okay, so we've done the decon. Next step is to come back up here into script, easy sweet, and denoise. And this, man, oh my gosh. This just works so well. Hold on. Okay. Once again, drop down list, loom ABE. Drag it over, get as big as we can. This is like, you don't do anything. It comes default at 1500 iterations. I think I may have boosted the strength just a little bit. Just gonna leave it alone for the most part. I don't touch any of this stuff. Okay. I'm gonna come in here to let's do preview 2. All right. So let's zoom in here. You can kind of see, got a little bit of noise. Let's just evaluate the easy denoise. Let's run it on this and create a little preview. You can see in the percentage. That's why I keep this thing kind of over to the right hand side so I can see what percentage we're at here. So I know it's doing something. Sorry about the glasses. I can't see. I gotta have glasses. So we're almost done here. Butter. You can see a little bit of noise right here. Smooth it out, but you don't lose your details. Cool, right? Let's come back in here to our preview 1. This is a good one because, oops. Preview 1. Let's evaluate it on it. You got all this dark area right here that can be a little noisy. And you've got a lot of great sharp details in the stars, and especially in this twisty, tornadic, cataclysmic event transpiring here in Merlot 15 in the core of the Heart Nebula. We want to salvage all those details, but we still want to reduce that noise in the background, and this thing does it fantastico. All right, so right here in the dark area, look at that, 4 after. Woo! All right, that's about it. That's all I do. I come down here and I run easy denoise. It's going to create 3 almost bleached white masks. I have zero idea how that works, but I don't care because it works. So I'm going to pause the video and be right back. Okay, we are done and we're back. That takes a moderate amount of time. It's not too bad, but with me, I drizzle a lot of my stuff shooting with the 80mm to upscale it, and that does take a while. So let's move all these extra little masks and files and stuff. Let's highlight them all, do a little house cleaning, delete selected icons, click yes a whole bunch of times. I know, you're like, why is this a part of the video? Okay, so we have our image 20. All right, let's do a preview around it. Around the cool part here. Looking at that preview, we got good color. Didn't spend a lot of time on the color. We've got our luminance here. And so we are not stretched. Remember, we're still linear. So now here's one thing, that easy soft stretch tool that I used a bit ago works great, but I find it's a little too aggressive for this softer luminance layer that you want to create here, or that we are creating. So for this, I think I'm just going to use old school screen transfer function. I'm going to open up the histogram transformation, reset the tool, and let's see, we are on the right image here. The Lrgb, I like it. I'm going to drag the triangle up here, place it at the bottom of the tool. You see the curve stretch it puts in it. F12 to kill the stretch preview, and we're going to bring that over and drag and drop it on, and now we're stretched. I think what I'm going to do right off the bat here is create a real-time preview with that. I'm just going to drag this black point over just a little bit, right there, right there. Okay, and we're going to hit the square button to accept that. Let's minimize that. Let's do one little thing here to kind of sharpen up some of this brighter nebulosity. Let's see if we can't tone that down just a hair to be able to get a little more detail out of that. First thing I want to do is create a clone, so I'm going to drag that off. Right? And I'm going to open up the histogram transformation to this clone here, open up a real-time preview, and I'm going to bring that black point slider way in. I just want to focus on the brightest parts of this nebula. Kind of like that. See that? And whoop, I just reset it. I guess apparently you didn't see it the first time, so you're going to get to see it again. Right there. Square button. Accept it. And close it down. Let's blur that. Let's introduce a little bit of smoothing between. See how we got kind of a harsh effect here? Let's open up the real-time preview on our convolution tool. Blur it just a little bit more. Accept that with the square button. And let's apply it. So we've applied this mask to our non-linear data, our stretch data. And we're going to go in here to preview 1. Delete that preview. Delete this preview. Process, wait, previews. Delete all. Let's create another preview right around this little really bright spot here. Go into that preview. We're going to open up HDNR multi-scale transform. We're going to select 2 lightness and lightness mask. Drop that down to 8. Let's drag it over and drop and see. See, it's subtle. It did just enough to kind of enhance the brightness a little bit by toning it down. Really? Let's see how much more we can get away with that. Just put it down to 7. I like that. Really made it pop. Alright. Let's apply that to the image. Aha, I like it. I like it. Let's kill the delete the preview, right click, mask, remove mask. So here's our image, we're done. Let's push it back up here. We're gonna open up image 20 again. Remember we had the preview going on here. We're gonna apply this luminance data over top of this image here. We're gonna do that with Lrgb combination. So open up the tool, reset it. Let's take our luminance here. We're gonna drag it over into the luminance, and we're gonna turn off our red, green, and blue. We're gonna push down our saturation slider to increase saturation, and we're going to boost our lightness slider to increase contrast. I know. Anyway, let's drag and drop. See what we like. Ah! That might be a little too dark, but I like it. That's a lot of detail. So here's one thing. If you do this and you think, man, it's a little dark, guess what? It's easier to brighten an image than it is to unbrighten an image. So if you feel like it's a little on the dull side, it's a lot easier to create a luminance mask and boost the lightness. So for right now, we're going to rock on with this, but we are not going to forget to check chrominance noise reduction, because that's another really key function when we apply our luminance to the whole image. So let's click back out of the preview, go to the main image, and we're going to drag that instance over and apply our luminance. This should go pretty quick, super quick. So it's doing the noise reduction now, process of it. It's done, and we're done. So let's delete that preview. Delete. Sweet. I don't know about you guys. I said it a lot. That's awesome. Good work, Mark. So let's create a luminance mask. All right. We're going to leave that luminance mask alone. We're just going to reapply it. Okay. We're going to brighten this image up. It looks just a little dull when we put that luminance on there. So we're going to use curves transformation. Let's click a real-time preview. Click our RGB and let's create an S-curve. Oh, yeah. Bring that down. Oh, lightness. That's really going to boost it. Right about here. So right there. Oh yeah. Reset it. And we can also come in here to that lightness and just drag it down just a little bit. Okay. Kill the real-time preview. That's a great looking image, man. I mean, look at this thing. Look at the details in it, right? I mean, seriously, it's just 16 hours. Look how fast we did that. Cool. Okay, so let's open that luminance image that we just made. Let's open up the histogram transformation. Open up a real-time preview, because we're going to manipulate this mask. Mask manipulation. We're going to push that black point slider in. We're going to darken that up in the background back in here. Brighten up the highlights just a little bit. Click OK to that. Let's minimize the tool. And let's blur it so that our transitions are smoother. Open up a real-time preview. We already had it set to a pretty heavy blur, so let's just accept that blur. Smooths out the transitions. Remember, the key to good astrophotography image processing is depth and smooth transition. Let's reapply that mask now that it's been manipulated. We're going to do a preview in this darker area because we're going to test our background noise reduction. And we can do a preview kind of over here, somewhere there, like that. We're going to use this for some additional sharpening. So let's click in here. Actually, let's click on the mask and say invert mask. So if you click mask, mask, show mask, basically everything that's bright is now protected, like the stars, and the background is not. Mask, show mask, because we're going to do some additional noise reduction. This thing is going to be like slippery. This thing will slide right out of your phone when you go to send it to somebody. Alright, so you see we got a little bit of noise in here. It really is not much, but it's enough that we can come in here to process, go down to noise reduction, TGV denoise. Now it comes always set to the RGBK mode. We want to change it to the CIE lab mode. Luminance selected. It's pretty aggressive. Let's just reset the tool. Remember, all defaults. I was playing with it earlier. So all defaults, we're going to leave it alone. Let's just drag and drop the instance over and see what it does. And there's a strong possibility that watching this video, you're not going to be able to see the before and after difference. Maybe. Look at that, how much it cleans it up. It's like glass. Damn. Back out of it. Just apply it. TGV denoise is runs on. It's another iterative process, so it does take a little bit, but it's a smaller image and it is not drizzled, so you can see it's already on the second step of 3 steps here. Processing. Yes. So it's almost done with the last one. I think you can hang out. God, so impatient. Alright, so minimize that tool, push that over here. So we got a nice clean background. So let's come in here to right click on the image and go mask and invert mask. So now we're protecting our background. I'll prove it to you. Show mask. See, background is not protected because it's solid red. Highlights are not protected. Mask, show mask. Let's come in here to look at that. Look at that twisty detail, man. Right here, we're going to open up the tool unsharp mask because we're going to do just a little more sharpening to that. Target is lightness. Let's hit default here. Yeah. Or reset the tool. Yeah, so let's push that down just a little bit. Just drag it over and drop it on the image. And it's not much. Let's get aggressive with it. You know what I mean? Ooh, look at that. Now you can really see some of these little... It's like a snake, man, twisting in here. Like it. Click back out to the image here. Drag and drop it. Remember, our background is protected. Mega sharp. Go here to preview. We're going to delete all of our little preview boxes. So we're going to do 2 more tools. Both of them are scripts. Just come here to mask and remove the mask. We're going to come up here and some of this darker area here, we're going to enhance it very quickly by coming to script, utilities, and dark structure enhancement. Comes default to 4. I like to push that down to like a heavy 2, 2.5, 2.7. Click OK. I think 4 is a little aggressive for me. So you can see what it's done here in this image. 4 after. Man, you can really see right here. Boom. I like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that makes you snort. When that looks good, it make you snort. Damn. That's all I can say. Okay. Awesome image. Alright, last tool. Last tool and we're done. And then you can go practice. Okay? And then in the comments below, let me know how you're doing. Oh my god! And guess what? Should I wait? Should I tell you now? I'm going to tell you now. I just hit 2,000 subscribers. Like, holy freaking crap. 2,000 subscribers. 2,000 of y'all are like, subscribe. Yeah, I'll see what that dude's doing. I'll get a notification. See what he's up to next. 2,000 people? Thank you. That's all I got right now. Thank you. You know, that face. Anyway, oh, yeah, last tool. Another one of the easy tools here. Script, easy processing suite, easy star reduction. What? So remember, we're going to select our image 20 and I believe it comes default to 5. But I have it set to 3. I think 3 is plenty. So let's just run it. Just run it. Just click, click, click. Creates a mask. You see that? And now this one takes a little bit. Yeah, because it's having to create a star mask. And basically what it's doing is what I did manually. You create a star mask. You create a star mask again. You create 17 more. You create one more. And then you create 27 more of those. And then you create 5. And then you go to bed. And then you wake up the next day and you create 6 more. And a week later you create 2. And then the next day you finally are satisfied with the last of the 17 that you created. Then you apply that mask. And then you run morphological transformation. But maybe it was too aggressive and you run it again. That's how you do a star mask. Seriously. Alright. So it is... What is it? Oh, it's done. Oh! Ah! Okay. Let's push this down here. So it happens so quick that you don't really get a chance to see the difference. But let's click back and forth. Look at that. Zoom in just a little bit. Whoop. Stars full on. Stars gone. Stars full on. Stars gone. I mean, as a whole, I like the stars. They're not really overpowering, but dim back like that might be a little too aggressive. I would have to say, to each their own. I might leave all the stars in there. I think they really don't detract from the nebulosity. But if you like the stars being gone, hey, do it, man. You know, whatever. Or you can pull them all out and just have a starless image. It would make a great starless image. Okay, so probably the last thing I'd want to do here is open up my histogram transformation tool, reset it. You know, we're not far off the left-hand side. You know, sometimes I've had my histogram peak like pushed way over here. And, but we can create a real-time preview. We can offer a little contrast by bringing that black slider in just a little bit. And we definitely don't want to clip. We can probably push it to maybe right about there. Right? We can do that. Yeah. Okay. Done. I mean, I was explaining to you, but if I were to sit down and not talk to anybody and just do it, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, somewhere in there, just depends. Especially with data smooth like this, that doesn't need a lot of background extraction, that isn't drizzled, and you can burn through some stuff. And I mean, honestly, you got a great looking image here. But yeah, I hope I didn't speed through this too quickly, because I'm excited. It excites me, if you can't tell. You know, especially it's really cool being able to collaborate, get somebody else's data in here and process it. It was a really good data set to work on. Really enjoyed it. And you know, if you're watching this video and you're like, man, I'd like to see Steve do some of my data, send it over to me. I'd really I'd dig it. I'd make a video out of it. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I'd give you lots of props too and shout outs. Shout out. And yeah, and by the way, again, 2,000 subscribers. Mega dittos. I really appreciate it. I love it. I can't believe it. Super awesome. Super happy. And can't wait to see who else gets on board. So until next time, clear skies, clear minds, and I'll see you later.
Mm-hmm.